What is up, guys? So today I'm kind of excited about this. I love putting rudiments on the drum kit, right? And I especially love putting the simple rudiments on the drum kit. So things like the paradiddle or paradiddle diddle or double par, those are, not complex rudiments, but they're so applicable to what we do on the drum kit. So this past week in the live lessons, we were actually breaking apart the beginners, the intermediate, the advanced lesson. We were breaking apart the paradiddle. How can we use it? How can we apply it? And so I was putting in place for everybody a system of when you get a new rudiment, it's not just like, oh man, what am I going to do with this rudiment now that I've got it? There's a system that you can do, just like a math equation, like you're trying to find the square root of a number. You have an equation to do that. And so all you do is take that number and plug it into the equation. And you're like, bam, 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 bam. And at the end of it, you have the answer, correct? Well, it's the same way with this. When you learn a new linear pattern, when you learn a new a rudiment, then all you have to do is go, you don't have to sit there and go, man, how am I going to apply this? What cool way? Like, you don't have to come up with something epically cool. I can't talk today. What you need to do is have a system set in place to where you can actually take it through that system. So it's like, oh man, I got this new rudiment. Snap. I'm going to put it in here and bam, 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 bam. And you follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And by the time you get to 8, you're rocking that thing, right? So that's kind of what we did in dissecting that and giving them a way to work through that. So I kind of wanted to give you something that you can do with the paradiddle that's really a cool application that came directly from this process of putting it into a system and working it through that system. Your practice time should really all be about systems. We get something new, we put it in a system, we work through it. If you think about the greatest drum books out there, what is it, Gary Chester's, Gary Shafee, they all have systems. Alan Dawson's Rudimental Ritual, it's all a system and you work through that system. Alan Dawson wouldn't let you move on to the Rudimental Ritual till you learned every one of those rudiments thoroughly, and then he'd slowly teach you that Rudimental Ritual. It's a system though, okay? And so the best practice times are going to come from implementing systems into there and saving the creative stuff for after you've worked through that system. So now what I do is I usually break a rudiment apart. I usually move one hand, then move that one hand to 2 voices, then move that one hand to 3 voices. And by doing that, I came up with this cool Latinish sounding pattern. Now, is this strictly a Latin pattern? No, but we're going to put Latin elements into it so that you could use it in a fusion mambo setting. You could use it in a fusion Mozambique, that type of setting. But it has to do with, what kick pattern you put with it, what accents you put over here. But you can add different things. But the essential thing is it's a paradiddle leading with the right hand. That's all it is. It's this. Right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Repeated twice. Except I'm taking my right hand and I'm moving it to the ride cymbal. Let me break down what we're going to do essentially. And then I know you guys are like, oh, don't talk so much. Well, just scrub on past this and you can get to the playing part. But I'm going to explain what we're going to do. So we're going to take the right hand and put it either on the ride cymbal or put it here on the rim. I'm going to put mine on the ride cymbal. Now, typically whenever you play these Latin fills, they're quicker. And so you feel them in 2 or you feel them in cut time or you feel them in double time, however you want to call that. Half time would be slower, cut time, and double time would be faster, correct? So we're going twice as fast. So instead of counting 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and we're going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So there's only going to be 2 paradiddles and 8th notes in each of those bars. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there. It's a 2-bar pattern. We're going to play 1 and 3 on the hi-hat. And then we're going to play the right hand here on the ride cymbal and the left hand here, except we're going to start with a cross stick. And we're going to use that idea of moving a pattern around to 1, 2, 3 different voices. And we're going to use a 3-voice idea. So if we put the right hand over here and play strict paradiddles, what does it sound like? Now, what if we were to take this left hand and move it around those toms so that every time the left hand hit, we were on a different tom using 3 voices. So 1, 2, 3. So every time that left hand hits, we're on a different voice. So here, here, and then there'll be 2 hits here, right there, okay? It'll sound like this. So that essentially is a 1-bar pattern and we have a 2-bar groove. The thing that's going to make it different, everything stays the same up here. The kick drum's the thing that's going to make it different. So let's practice getting that down. We're going to start with our hi-hat here and then we'll start getting our pattern in there, okay? So it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 with the hi-hat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now you can do like I did, you can do what's called flanging the hi-hat, or you can just make it come together and stop. Now that sounds cool in and of itself. What if we took that ride cymbal and take it a step further? Again, we are still just dealing with a paradiddle, nothing more. Paradiddle off the right hand, paradiddle, paradiddle. Now let's take that right hand and we're gonna hit the first, whenever that ride cymbal hits, we're going to hit that on the cymbal. When you got the double, we're going to hit the second of that double every time on the cymbal. So anytime there's a single, it's going to be hit on the bell. Anytime there's a double, the second of that double is going to be hit on the bell. Pretty simple. All right, you see how this groove is starting to get more and more involved, and we're not changing a thing about the stickings. What we're changing are voicings. What we're changing is phrasing and how we're taking it around the kit. Applying rudiments to the drum kit really excites me. Like you can tell, I'm like, oh, it's so much fun. That was a little bit feminine, but I'm all right with it. I'm good. I'm shaking it off. So next, what we want to do is add the kick drum to that. So the kick drum, and it's going to come on. The kick drum is a 2-bar pattern, just like this whole thing is a 2-bar pattern. The kick drum is what makes it a 2-bar. So it sounds like this. I'll click my sticks to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Except the hi-hat is going to be on 1 and 3 instead of all 4, just doing all 4 to emphasize where we were in the beat. So if we add that to the pattern, what does it sound like? Well, let's build our pattern up and get it going here, and then I'm going to add the kick drum. So now we've got the full groove working, and all it is then is getting it up to speed. So we took a simple rudiment, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, added elements in the left foot, took the left hand around the toms, moved the right hand to the ride cymbal, added some accents, then added a 2-bar kick pattern, and we have this really hip pattern that's applicable and is still just a rudiment, which is what Steve Gadd, it's what Tony Williams, it's what all of those guys did, is they took these and they worked them through, and eventually they started to come out in their playing. So that's what we kind of looked at all last week, was how to take these things and just apply them in the live lessons and break them down. So hopefully that helped you guys. Don't forget, we got our $1 trial subscription for the first month going on in the drum shed. We're having a blast in there, working through things just like this, except a lot more in depth and with sheet music, yo. So if you're interested, check it out. If not, I'll be here on YouTube.